Hi guys, my name is Fadhili Hilda. Karibuni sana hapa Fadhili Diaries, and today we're having an amazing guest. His name is Noah Kipkemboi. He is a journalist and most importantly a child of God. And if you're new here, be sure to click on the subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up, that is if you like this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Noah.
Hi Hilda, uko vipi? How are you doing?
How I'm fine, thank you. So, welcome to Fadhili Diaries. I know this is your first time to feature here. And so my first question will be, who is Noah? Just introduce yourself briefly.
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be here. My name, of course, you've heard is Noah Kipkemboi, and I'm a born-again believer. I am somebody's son, the son of God, of course, also the son of my mother. But yeah, what I do, my profession is journalism. I'm a journalist, so my profession is journalism. And most importantly, I think, yeah, my calling as an individual is just, as I walk here on earth to exemplify Christ Jesus. So basically, that is how I define myself in, in short.
All right. So, why journalism? Why did you take this specific course? And why is this the path that you generally in life wanted to do? Maybe let's say when you were in high school, did you have this idea of becoming a journalist since you were young?
Sincerely, no. I think it's a path that God kind of directed towards me. And when, especially for every, okay, not every, I can speak for every African child, but the majority of us, what our education system kind of defines what, rather, what we see as successful in the society determines and also, influences our decision when it comes to career. So who are the people who are successful in majority of our settings? We have doctors, we have engineers, we have teachers. So that is the situation. So growing up, I wanted to be a pilot, and yeah, you
Wow.
understand that transition. Primary school, you want to be a pilot. Then in high school, some changes
Yeah.
happen. Then you're like, okay, I'll have to, you know, recalibrate this particular situation.
Yeah.
And so in high
Yes.
school, I changed, and I was thinking of becoming something else, but not a pilot. So I applied to become a filmmaker. I didn't know much about it, but I enjoyed creativity, and it's something that I think it was ingrained. It was a God-given, talent. So creativity, creative stuff. That's how I viewed myself, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do in university? There are quite a number of options, and journalism is one of the options that I picked to study in university. But I was very keen about becoming a filmmaker. So thank God, yeah, that's what I studied in campus. But now in the journey of campus, becoming a filmmaker, again, that was a step of faith because this is an industry that you're entering. There is no that, can I say surety towards, when you become a
Yeah.
pilot, somehow you are, apart from Corona right
Sure.
now, there's no much flying. But back then, you're like assured of getting a job. And it's the same thing as doctor because there's a field that have very scarce people who are in it. So that is the situation. So filmmaking, I was like, okay, where am I going to practice this? So for me, it was a step of faith. But through my journey in campus studying film, that's when I bumped into journalism, and it was just by accident through a
Right. Right. Okay.
yes.
No, before we go far, there's this question of passion and purpose. So if there's someone out here who, yes, they want to become that pilot and and so far what they can be able to do is just something minor, something that is not their passion. So talk to us about purpose. What does purpose and passion have to play in our lives? What role does it have to play in our lives?
Okay, so for purpose, that is how I understand it. It's the bigger picture, like why you're here. You can't tell me I'm here to become a journalist and die. That's what I was born to do. I think there is a bigger calling in each and every individual's life, and that is your purpose. And now passion, I think God aligns your passion somehow to lead you to your purpose. So you find the things that you like. For example, you can say one of the okay, some let's take for example music. We have very very good musicians, and some of them they believe their purpose, like Giuliani, for example, it's to impact change through music, and we have seen his music do that. But first of all, it started with passion. He loved music, writing music, and through that passion, it led him to his purpose. When you see him advocating for social justice and whatnot. So I think your passion is the stepping stone and also a tool to enable you as an individual to accomplish your purpose. So your purpose is way bigger. I mean, your passion, you can be passionate about everything, but through these passions, God uses them to kind of lead you and also empower you and equip you to achieve your purpose.
All right. That is something. Thank you for that. And while we are still at that, Noah, tell us. We know that you are currently at KTN and you've been at QTV before. Can you just tell us how this journey of getting a job was like? Because with what is going on right now, we see so many news stations. Like journalism is very unstable. Is one of the industries that people don't really have a sure bet on. What you have just mentioned, how was it like for you to get a job, and what are these challenges, the things that you have learned so far in your career that you would want to share with someone today?
Okay, so initially, as I said, it's my journey through campus that I bumped into journalism. And they were starting a TV station, that is KUTV, Kenyatta University's television station. I was a second year student, so a friend of mine calls me, tells me to audition. I auditioned to become a show host. I missed the position, but I'm placed as a news reporter. So I asked myself, okay, what am I going to report? This will cause a lot of changes in my life. That was an inconvenience for me. But still, I said, okay, I have nothing to lose. Let me just pick this up. So we were trained. I had to do a lot of changes. The way I used to dress. You can, when you scroll down my Facebook, you can see my initial pictures and the way I changed, professionally, in terms of dressing and the way you present yourself. At the same time, I think so at KUTV, we worked as students, all right, together with professionals. So that was a learning moment, and we were being given some small stipend, but it called for faithfulness because it was tough. In fact, I remember one time, one of my bosses, actually the immediate boss in the newsroom, called us, the students, and told us, you have two options: either to focus on your education, because we had classes that were clashing with the job assignments. Maybe you want to be sent somewhere else. Akaniambia, actually, we were a group. Akatobi, you have to focus on one thing or another. And I told my friend, this friend who told me to audition, I told him, hey, my friend, I think this guy is giving us an option, and I choose education. I came here to study. I didn't come to do TV. But it was like, I'll give it a trial. Learn to balance. We are a few months in. So that was a persevering moment. Now coming to the issue of KTN, from second year, I worked at KUTV till I graduated. and then another. I graduated 2017. Then another year, an extra year after graduation, I was still working at KUTV. And that was a moment
Wow.
where, a lot of people had left the station, and by God's grace, He held me there. He held me there, that perseverance. And every day I was, some people depend on their connections. Oh, I know somebody somewhere will do something. For me, I didn't have that. I just had trust. That's all I had. Like, I have to trust God. I have to be diligent in the space that He has given me. And yet He has blessed me. It is right here at QTV. I will do my best here. And when His time comes, He will, push me to a different space. So that is what happened. I did my time at KUTV. Then after that, through God's grace, I was able to join KTN business team. So it's purely grace, but it doesn't mean that it's smooth. When we mention grace, Hilda, sometimes people think, everything is nice. No. There are plenty of challenges in between that. But so far, God has been faithful. And here we are today.
Wow. Wow, what I'm getting from you, Noah, is perseverance. You've mentioned that every single time, like, there are going to be ups and downs. Not everything is going to be how we expect it to turn out. And I'm also learning about you. You mentioned your friends. Your friend introduced you to and told you that you need to try this out. So you need to have real friends, people who will challenge you to actually, go for your dreams and direct you and help you out. And I'm also getting the issue of patience. So many young people outside here, they're not patient. They just want results immediately. They want results immediately because they think and they feel like they've really worked hard. They want to see their results immediately. And what I'm learning from your story so far is that your time will come. So thank you very much for that. And quickly, let's talk about your salvation story. So what was it like before Christ and after Christ? Now, I know this has been kwanga joke flani to TBC and AC. So tell us what your salvation story has been like.
Okay. You know, when people give their salvation stories, oftentimes we expect, I was a bank robber. Then today I'm here chatting at Fadili Diaries. And that's not my case. I mean, I grew up, my mom is a believer, and through the journey of each and every single day, because trust you me, my life each and every single day, as long as I can remember, in a worldly perspective, it's been disadvantageous. Okay, in a worldly perspective. And what do I mean? I mean that most of the times, if not all the times, you are always cornered. All right, me and my mom, because she raised me solo, we were always cornered, and we didn't have anywhere to go, anything else to hold on to. So our rescue was God and God alone. So I've grown up living in that single room and hearing your mom pray for you and pray that God may come through a particular situation. And God does incredible things in your life, and that is just live testimony of God's faithfulness. So I've grown up in that environment. So I think I accepted the Lord while I was very young. I'm not also the kind that I remember the date, the weather, the temperature of that particular moment. Some people do that, and we respect that. But I gave my life to Christ while I was very young. In those crusades, wanaita watu. And after that, I think niliokoka like 7 more times, or 8 more times for different reasons, exams, including other reasons. Yeah, but from a young age, I've been born again. I was born again at a very young age, and I thank God. So nothing spectacular other than Yo, niliokoka nikiwa
For your
blessed.
story, for your salvation story. And I think it's really important that the things that we go through when we are still young, those are the kind of things that prepare us for where God is taking us. You see, for instance, in the story of David, God put him in that very place when he was a shepherd. He put him at that very place because that was his training ground to become a king. So wherever we go through, everything that we've gone through, there is a purpose, there is a reason why God makes us go through those things, because there is a lesson we are learning at the end of the day. And those are the lessons that sustain us even in our future life, where God has now graced us with something to be responsible for. So thank you very much for that story. I know it has helped someone, and when someone sees you and the way you've testified, they are going to change or be marveled. As we wind up, what can you tell someone who is watching this video today? Maybe they are an aspiring journalist, maybe something, any advice, any word of advice by the very able Noah Kipkemboi. Yes, share something, tell them something, advice, give a word of advice as we conclude.
I think identity helps you even to cope when things are not going your way, because in life sometimes things don't go your way. You want to be the top journalist in Kenya, and that doesn't happen. How do you deal with that? Some people go home distraught. But if you have your identity in something that is bigger than your job, then you'll be able to understand, oh, I'm bigger than this. So identity is key, first of all, as you come into the industry. Secondly, I think it's good for you to know the industry itself and its dynamics. A lot has changed in the game, in the in the journalism field. So keep yourself up to date over what is happening. Thirdly, touching slightly on the identity point, is have your values in check. And even using that check, no pun intended, the question is, what is your price? Yeah, what can I write on this check and present to you? So ask yourself those tough questions. Put yourself in scenarios where you have a story that should come out vis-a-vis somebody trying to stop that. How will you handle that? You have the question of the truth, and also living with the consequences of your action. Are you willing to pay the price for what you do, for what you believe? Are you compromisable? These are hard questions that you ask yourself. And I know it's not a definite answer that you can give and be like, yo, I've given an answer, because circumstances do change. But I think identity is the most important thing. Know the industry and have fun. I mean, enjoy doing what if you whatever field you are in, enjoy doing it. I think it adds life to you and it adds value to that particular industry.
Okay, so thank you very much, Noah. I've really enjoyed the video. I've really enjoyed the advice, and I've learned so much from you. And I think when you've mentioned enjoy whatever you're doing, like right now, I really enjoy doing this content, and I thank God. So whoever you are who is watching us right now, this has been Noah Kipkemboi, and for now we just want to say goodbye. So thank you very much, guys, for staying until the very end of the story. I hope to see you in my next Fadili Diaries video. See you then.